Hello, YouTube. What is going on? That is what I think the bears are saying right now because I believe we are currently setting up a bear trap because every time we've hit this downtrend, the bears have thought, oh my God, this is a hard sell. And at least initially, it was. They are still watching this head and shoulders pattern. And what I find so interesting is that when we zoom out a little bit more, remembering that more time on the chart means more significance, there is a clear pattern that I see as being bigger or the dub. That's right. The current uptrend is a part of a larger pattern, which is the W, which has more time on the chart, which means it's more significant if it ultimately plays out. And as I tried to allude to as best I could yesterday, at what point are you going to realize you're wrong? That's what you need to do right now. We are now closing over the 200 DMA. We're rocking an uptrend. We now have a solid poke over our area here. And I think the emotions line up almost perfectly. I'm saying, what is going on here? Because that's what I think the Bears are saying. Oh my goodness, my gains went to zero. I am red, red, red on the year. Because when we took this last screenshot, we were here at about 279. Now we're over 5% higher. QQQ is up by 25 points on the year. We look here, it's up by 27 points. My apologies, double digits. Annual returns happening in less than a month. And the S&P is now up by 20 points, 22, or nearly 6%. So I think a lot of people are asking themselves today, man, what is going on? How did this happen? Were there warning signs? And the answer is yes, yes, yes. If you wouldn't mind, please smashing that thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. At the very end of the video, we're going to leave you with the most important chart to look at going into tomorrow. But what we have here is going to be just a psychology. I think a lot of people are saying, what is going on here? I knew it all along, and man, screw it. Just buy again. Look at the pattern. We've been looking at this one here on QQQ for our short-term chart here, where we formed that W. It is now almost complete. It's been almost a perfect line higher. Yesterday, we talked about how we've now pushed off the 50, pop flag, bounce off the 50, pop flag, bounce off the 200. And now are we going to pop flag and bounce off the 200? Or are we going to find ourselves coiling up into here before we try to go higher? That's what it really comes down to. And then if we look at a chart like Tesla, which reported earnings today, oh my goodness, the exact same pattern, the dub. And it did not even have to come down for a true test of its 50 DMA here. That's like pretty impressive. If we look at a stock that kicked off earnings for big tech, oh my goodness, that same W and push higher is here. And people have clearly said, screw it, buy higher. Why? Because they've bought above 330. We're now nearly 10% above that area. That's pretty impressive. Would have been nice to know that in hindsight that this pattern was forming. So when we look here to our chart, it's very clearly playing out. We look here to what also drove the market today to understand where we're coming from versus where we're going to go. All the good data got interpreted bullish. So bad data is good data is good. And with tomorrow, we got core PCE coming in at 0.3 on a month over month, but it's supposed to come down to 4.4 on a year over year. So what's the market going to look to? Is it going to have good data be good or bad data be good? I don't know. Is good data good or is good data bad? Let's find out. Tesla also reported earnings overnight and reported record revenue and beats on earnings, which dragged the market higher. So if we now look back here to QQQ, and if we understand that, okay, well, I know I'm bearish, but at what point am I wrong? Well, that's what we've been trying to show you by looking at all these different charts. Every time we hit it before, we backed off. But put very simply, when we look here to our weekly chart, when we form higher lows and higher highs, what that means to me is that we're willing to defend a higher area than before, and we're also advancing the chart, which means the bulls are charging. To put it really simply, that's what's happening. The bulls are charging. And now to leave you with the most important chart of the day for tomorrow, it's going to be SPY and QQQ. We're going to look at these two individually, but just look and see what the pattern is here. We're going to snap a line to yesterday's high, then a high to our Tuesday high, and then one here to our Monday high. If we now look at a 15-minute chart, just notice what happens. We bounce all around these areas. At the open, we hover it. We come back down and bounce, reject at the open, and then we just melt up all day, pretty much clearing every level of resistance. Became support, support, support. And then our level here going into the close at about 404 is going to be what we're testing going into tomorrow, 404.07. It's basically where we're back to here in after hours. So that is the most important chart for me tomorrow. If we looked at QQQ, it's pretty much the same thing. We know it's going to be closing near the high of the week because it's already over all of the previous highs. And if we look here, like, okay, well, we got the Thursday high, the Wednesday high, and the Tuesday high. So if we look at all three of those, and here we recognize that we almost do the same thing, right? We open, we push off, try to claim it, come down, and we clear them all, which becomes support as we go higher. So wish you all the best of luck into tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you for the end of day stream. Thanks so much.